they have short memories of a goldfish, and some people are just fucking just flat out stupid. I mean, I'm just telling you what it is. So, but looking at this, I want to have yet another video, always about updating the resume. This is not my first video where I've talked about this, but there's a bunch of folks who have clung to this moronic idea and try to just completely revise history. And you've heard this before many times. As you look at rising cases and you see that record number of cases, so places that have some of the most strenuous lockdowns have the highest case rates, higher than what they ever had prior to the vaccination, which is antithetical to what they initially said. Now, in order to cope with this, especially those of you that are triple fucking jabbed, quadruple jabbed, I guess, if you're in Israel, in order to cope with this, you have some people who have sold a complete lie, and again, a revisionist history, that they never ever presented this as something that was going to stop the virus. We've watched compilation videos of them claiming exactly that, from Fauci claiming that, you want to get this vaccine because the virus will stop with you. You don't want to be a person that's spreading it. Rochelle Walensky telling people that they're not catching this virus, not getting sick. Of course, she is the director of the CDC. You've heard these pundits all over, Rachel Maddow, and many, many others who have been a part of the media, who have sold, and initially, as the vaccines were rolling out or right before they were rolling out, that this was about stopping people from spreading it. This was the whole point. This is why they said vaccines was going to get us on the other side of it, because it was going to stop people from spreading it. And the revisionist people who don't want to sit up here and acknowledge the numbers and acknowledge that, okay, well, that was bullshit. They said that the virus had never, ever, ever, ever been presented as something that was going to stop it. It was just a symptom mitigator, again, which is a flat out bald-faced fucking lie. And I refuse to allow them to tell it. So I wanted to uncover something real quick, because some people would pivot and say, well, that was just the pundits, or maybe that was just the alphabet agencies that were getting incorrect information. But the pharmaceutical companies never, ever made that claim. I want to be very clear. That is a lie. It is a complete lie. And I think that you need to look into how a lot of, at least in America's case, how they got this emergency authorization in the first place. And the emergency authorization was sold specifically on the fact that it was going to stop people from getting it. I have a receipt right here from the CEO of Albert Bourla, who you've heard him talk. He is the chairman and CEO of Pfizer. And he even tweeted this shit out. So we got it right here. Receipt. It's out there, of the CEO of the pharmaceutical company. So they were all in on it. The pharmaceutical companies, the alphabet agencies, health organizations, the public health experts, as well as the media, sold this lie that this was going to be something that stopped the virus right in its tracks. So you weren't going to be catching it and weren't going to be spreading it in the event that you got the vaccine. This is what this one says right here. Excited to share April 1st. This is a writer, actually. It's like 3 days after Dr. Rochelle Walensky said what she said, because I think that was the 28th or something, when she was on MSNBC saying that people that were getting the jabs weren't getting the viruses or weren't getting sick. This is around the same damn time. Albert Bourla says, excited to share the updated analysis of our phase 3 study of the BioNTech, showing that our COVID-19 vaccine was 100% effective in preventing COVID-19 cases in South Africa. And of course, there's a news press release in which they specifically mention this. High efficiency, no serious safety concerns up to 6 months following the second dose. So the CEO of the pharmaceutical companies, that was a lie that he was selling. And that was, if you get it, and people that are having this vaccination are not getting COVID-19 cases. It was sold. I don't care how much you want to ignore this reality or act like I was living in another dimension or someone else was living in another dimension. We really remember vividly that you sold this vaccination on the idea that you were not going to get it and we're not going to be able to spread it. That's how you got the emergency authorization, and that was the main selling point. And now because it's blown up in your fucking face, and now you see that, well, it looks like it's not working. Breakthrough cases aren't so breakthrough anymore, but you don't want to admit that you ever got it wrong. These people act like the internet doesn't exist. Now, I've said this before. The internet, if it had not been for like the internet and social media, the amazing amount of lies that it would have been, I mean, they're still running with them anyway, but just imagine how even worse it would be if folks like ourselves weren't around to get this information to the people. You'd have people in real time revising history and really getting away with it. They be getting away with it because they're trying to do it right now, acting like we can't just, I don't know, go look at an archived article showing that you sat there and no, you sold this vaccination. They'll try to gaslight you and act like you're crazy and like, oh, we never said that. Nobody ever said that. People like these little shields on the internet as well, their shields are doing it right now, where they'll sit up here and say that, well, it never happened. It's a figment of your imagination. We never ever said that. You couldn't catch that. It was always just about mitigating the symptoms and keeping you out of the hospital. And you got people questioning themselves like, wait, was that what they, no, that wasn't what they said. No, that wasn't what they said. They sold this on from pharmaceutical companies on down to the governments, sold this on, it was going to prevent you from getting it. And they were wrong. That's the most important part of it. They are wrong. They were wrong. They were incorrect. They lied. If you want to think that something more devious had been done. Either way, what they claimed was going to happen did not happen. And that was in preventing this spread. It simply didn't happen. Now they've conceded that it doesn't prevent transmission. In fact, that's what Rochelle Walensky actually stated, is that it's not going to prevent transmission. So here we are. So you can sit here and try to erase that. But if you're one of those goofballs that are spreading these lies and carrying their water, acting like that never happened, I mean, I'd say you're retarded, but I think it's more that you think everybody else is stupid. Like, we can, again, pull up articles and just look at the emergency authorization, the language in the I don't want to really call it legislations, but these governing documents, and they specifically state that was what it was. You cannot just sit up here and say it never happened, and then we just get in a trance and just oh, it never happened. These people are insane, man.
You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.